something happened between getting you to prison and decisions you made to
Mm.
get to prison and who you are now. Like when you started investing in yourself and
Oh
going
yeah,
into business for yourself. What
right.
was that light bulb?
Um, I think I'll even before prison, there was something telling me that it's a better life than what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I went to, I was in things like McDonald's or something like that, and there was an older couple,
Mm-hmm.
gray hair, and they had this aura about them
Mm.
that they just was free. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like they was free. They had an aura, and they just seemed like they was had money, and they
Mm-hmm.
were just they were well groomed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at these people like, why they got these smiles on their face, and
Mm-hmm.
we in poverty.
Mm-hmm.
I be on my queen shit, crown tilted lean shit, melanated, elevated, unafraid to be shit. I be
Welcome to another episode of the Free Your Mind podcast, where we believe in the transformative power of conversation. I'm your host, Tiffany McCall, and today's guest is one of my favorites, new friends. Since I've been here, I've been making so many amazing new friends. We have Mr. Dennis Green on the Freedom Couch, y'all. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you gifted us some champagne. Like I don't even know who told you I love champagne.
The
The
gods,
gods
the
told you
gods.
because I
Yeah.
love I drink champagne like regular. I drink cocktails all the time,
Mm,
but like daily I drink
yeah.
champagne.
So
Don't judge me. This is the
no, it's
freedom.
all good. You celebrate life.
Yeah, so we have no conversations without libations. So we got a little Moet champagne. Let's do a cheers.
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 See.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. This is tasty. It's tasty. Okay, so welcome to the Freedom Couch.
Hmm.
How you feeling today?
Good. I'm free now. I got my drinking. So
That's what we like to hear here.
that's
Okay.
it.
All right, so introduce yourself to the people. Tell them who you are, what you do.
Okay. So I'm Dennis Green. I'm a businessman, father of two. Uh, what I want to say. Yeah, father too, and
Hmm.
I believe in Jesus Christ.
I love that for
Yeah,
you. Yes.
yeah.
That's beautiful. And
Those
we
are the
would
main three things that I would like to be
known as.
presented as. Yeah.
Okay.
All other stuff is the entrepreneur and all that stuff.
That's
That's
just
necessary.
jazz.
Yeah,
That's just razzle
yeah,
dazzle.
yeah, yeah.
But a businessman, father too, and a believer of Christ.
That's it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. All right, so talk to us a little bit. Wait, before we get into that, I do like to ask the guests a few questions. What does freedom look like to you?
Freedom. That's kind of broad because but I'm trying to narrow it down. So freedom to me is like being able to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But that could be mentally,
Mm-hmm.
physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially.
But for you, what is it?
Um, yeah, being able to do whatever I want to do
Yeah.
whenever I want to do it,
Yeah.
and be at peace with it.
Okay.
I think as I got older, I probably took a book out of some of the old timers in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and that's being able to say, not care what people think,
Mm-hmm.
basically not giving, you know,
Mm-hmm. 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 Thank you
is
for
this
editing. I
okay?
appreciate that.
Okay,
We
cool.
don't, we do a lot of little cussing, but you know
Okay,
the F bombs
cool.
it shocked people a little bit, and I don't know who might be some children watching this getting inspired.
Mhm.
So I appreciate that. But
Mhm.
be free. You know you don't
Yeah.
got to monitor your talk here.
Okay.
It's a freedom house.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. All right. So you talked a little bit about what freedom looks like to you. What kind of things do you do to make you feel free?
That's a good question. Um, I spend.
Mm.
I'll probably buy something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I could recall, it would be spending. I spend on even if when I get into the restaurant
Mm-hmm.
business, spending to where if I do spend, it's going to make me some money.
Yes.
So being able to um pursue my dreams,
Mm-hmm.
um some of the things that help me get away from the busyness and stuff that give me some freedom is going to hoop,
Mhm.
I was playing basketball,
Mhm.
um, playing in a band.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was just sometimes just taking a ride.
Hey sis, real quick. I know you watching the episode, but I had to come by and ask you something. Have you been feeling stuck lately? Like you're doing everything that you know how to do and you're not getting anywhere? Like nothing is happening, nothing is working? Don't worry, I got you. I created something just for you. It's called The Shift, and it's a 7-day workbook created to help reset your mindset, get you some clarity, and start moving towards the life that you want to live. It's the exact plan that I used when I was stuck in survival mode, and it really helped me start living with intention. And that's what I want for you. Okay, so start with the shift. And once you complete the workbook, you'll be ready for the next step, which is actually manifesting the life that you want to live. All right, so tap the link in the show notes. Get your free, yep, I said it, free copy of the shift directly to your email, and let's start getting some clarity. It's time for you to become the person that you always know you were meant to be. Make sure you leave me a comment, write a review, tag somebody, send it to a friend that really needs it. Okay, enough of the yapping. Let's get back to today's episode. Mm-hmm.
Taking a ride, just driving, thinking. I'm a thinker. I
Mm-hmm.
think all day.
Where'd that come
Um,
from?
mm, I think life experiences, the failures,
Okay.
and of how can I get better,
Yeah.
or what can I do, or what can I create to maximize whether it's my talent or somebody in my circle,
Mm-hmm.
their talents
Mm-hmm.
and their gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You take a lot of time because I've been learning that a part of my journey into learning about freedom and what freedom really means to me specifically because freedom can mean so many things to so many different people. So really diving deep into what does freedom look like for me, and it requires me to take time to think, right?
Hmm.
Because I am learning to value my time so much and how I'm spending my time. Because we were talking about earlier off camera about how much time we just waste on doing things like
Yeah.
scrolling
Yeah.
or just nonsense. I play Township on my phone,
Hmm.
the Farmville game.
I don't know what
And
that is. Yeah. Yeah, I
and
don't know what that is.
it's okay. I'm trying to get out of it. But I spend a lot of time, I find myself just found myself idly wasting time. So
Hmm.
just looking at how I'm spending my time and is this time being spent wisely? Is it just allowing me to just debrief and calm down, relax, or is it just wasting? Like, is it just wasteful? So that's beautiful, like that you said that you think.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people do not take the time to think.
Yeah.
They don't think about what they need, what they want, what makes them happy,
Hmm.
their goals. Like, that
Yeah.
requires time for you to think about those things in order to start creating that life.
Hmm.
Um, so we know you. I met you. Actually, I met you outside of when I did Grease with the side of mumble sauce.
Oh
That
yeah.
was our
Yeah. Yeah.
first meeting.
Yeah.
You never really remember that, but it was like sometimes you meet people and they create like a lasting impression, or it's like this is somebody I want to know a little bit
Hmm.
more about. And it was very, very quick. It was just like, oh yeah, you did a great job in the show. You know, we should connect.
Hmm.
And I'm doing some things at the restaurant Burgers at Apollo, and I like to have you come out there. So I did come
Oh
and
yeah, you did perform
I
with
did
us.
a feature. Yeah,
Yeah.
see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
You don't remember all that because
Yeah.
we've done so. It's been
Yeah.
so many other encounters since then
Yeah.
that sometimes you don't even think back
Hmm.
for like how this all started.
'Cause I
But
think it was you and Scooby on the same day.
Scooby came that night too.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay. Yeah.
yep, yep, yep. And so it was. You always were somebody that was like, I need to get to know. I want to get to know them. I want to like pick their brain. They seem At first, it was, like, so mysterious because you're very quiet
Hmm.
and you just, like, move. You
Yeah.
don't do a whole lot of loud talking,
Is it?
which I love. I love people who show their work
Hmm.
versus talk about their work. To
Yeah.
me, it has so much more value.
Hmm.
When you want to get to know somebody, that means that I'm doing something that's attractive.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I remember I invited you. I was like, I need to pick your brain. I want to just talk to you. So
Yeah.
we went out to lunch one
Yeah.
time, and you was just
Yeah.
running it down. You
Yeah.
was just rapping,
Yeah.
just having a good
And
time, just
that's
talking.
I think that comes from good energy. 'Cause
Mhm.
I don't normally do podcasts and
Mhm.
or sitting down and just talk like
Mhm.
that. And I
Mhm.
think you, like I told you, um, with your energy, it give me that southern feel from
Mhm.
our I'm gonna say my ancestors
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
my grandmother and all of them, they had that type of energy where we could sit down and
Mhm.
just talk. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? They can open your brains up to things that topics that you probably never touch on with
Mhm.
being in certain circles. You
Mhm.
know, so
Mhm. That came from my grandma too, because that was actually how I was raised. Even now, still to this day, I'll go to my grandma's house and I'll just sit at her table and just listen to her stories. I
yeah,
just want to know, like, I
yeah,
want to get the information and wisdom. It's kind of what birthed this podcast, is because I'm nosy. I like to
hmm
be in people's business.
yeah,
I like to see what you're thinking about, what you're doing with yourself, and I be wanting to know stuff.
hmm
So I want to make sure that I bring people to the audience that I want to curate that I feel inspired by or encouraged by or that I want to know about.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So you were always that type of person for me. So we know you as the entrepreneur
hmm
because every day I'm learning, or not every other day, I'm learning about a new business or
oh yeah,
something you've got your hands in, something
hmm
you're involved in, which is like so dope.
hmm
Be- I keep going back to this, but it's so dope to me because in this community and the circles that I've been blessed to be thrust into,
hmm
so many people are so loud.
hmm
They talk so much
yeah,
about everything that they doing.
yeah,
And a lot of the times I don't see it.
some yeah, yeah,
A lot of times
yeah,
it's just like hearing you say it and I don't really see it. But for you, it's the complete opposite.
hmm
It's like I see so much.
yeah.
And you don't be saying, you just be like, hey, yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
that's it. Yeah,
I'm Lonnie.
I'm a door.
I'm
I'm
D.
a action, and that's a good topic because we were talking about someone saying, "I love you." Would you like to be told, or would
Mm-hmm.
you like to be showed?
Ooh, that's good.
You know,
Yeah,
so I could show you more than I can tell you. I might
absolutely.
not say it as much,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna show you.
Yeah. I felt like that and um I talk about it all the time. I'm not afraid to talk about it, but I went through trauma like some hardships in my 20s or whatever and I went into therapy and what she exposed to me was the way I devalue words is
hmm
because I've experienced so many people say things that don't really align with their actions.
hmm
So I've learned to, through my experience, value actions more than
There we
words.
go.
And like you can say, there's so many people who say they love me,
Yeah,
but I know what it looks like
yeah.
when somebody love me who don't even tell me they love me.
hmm
I was just having a conversation with my producer Jimmy. I was just having a conversation with his wife just yesterday.
hmm
She pulled up on me. We were running a sale for the brand I previously had, closing it out, and she
hmm
pulled up and was like, "What you got in here? I'm trying to get it." And it's so many people that be like, "Oh, I love what you're doing. I ain't seen them.
Yeah.
Don't see them. Don't hear from 'em. They can't like, share, subscribe. They can't do nothing, promote. They can't do
Yeah.
nothing, but they love me. But it's so many people who show up with their word, or with
hmm
their actions. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And
Yeah,
that come from for me the letdowns, the
yeah,
disappointments.
yeah,
So I don't want to disappoint nobody. So I'm not going to tell you something and not mean it and not follow through. So I'd rather just do it,
yeah.
and then you can judge me from what my actions more so than what I told you. You
Yes.
know, I try to be a stand-up guy as much as I can and a man of my word.
Mhm.
And but sometimes you fall short.
Of
You just
course, of
don't know what's
course.
going around that corner, or
Mhm.
sometimes I forget because I do have a lot going on. But
Mhm.
for the most part, I'm gonna put my effort in. You gonna get me. You
Yes.
gonna get the action.
And that's why you're here because I really genuinely, I don't really like let too many people into my world. First
Mm,
of all, the Freedom House is a very sacred space to me.
mm,
So I'm very intentional about the people that are allowed to come into this space and that I do business with or work with
mm,
or can have conversations with.
mm,
Or I never, I hardly ever, let me say, I can't say never because I did ask you out for lunch, but
mm.
I don't be asking nobody to go out
Oh
to
yeah.
lunch and just get to know them or just
Mm,
pick their brain or just
mm,
want information
yeah.
from them. You got to be really a dope person and of a high caliber and just a real
Thank you. Yeah, I
all that
appreciate
type
that.
of
Cause somebody in
person.
here,
It's okay. 'Cause let your haters be your motivators.
man, they don't
Let
want
your
us right there.
let your haters be your motivators.
Mm.
Let your haters
It's
be
ducks
your
off, y'all. Yeah, we back in. My co-pilot.
I
That's
love
right
that. You
there.
gotta have a good co-pilot. And sometimes, like my co-pilot is my producer,
Mhm.
Jimmy, and he is a hater of me.
That's
But he also
my
gonna
man.
show love.
Yeah.
He gonna tell me when I'm right. He gonna tell me when I'm wrong. But one
Right
thing
straight
I
up.
never
Stand
got
up.
to question
Yeah.
is he be riding for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. I
I
know.
can go to him with a thought, idea. He
Yeah.
gonna have my back. He gonna be like, "Nah, sis, we let's not go too
Yeah.
far in that. Let's do it this way.
Yeah.
Or you doing too much. You might want to calm it down." But I know he got my back because
Good. That's good. You got a
he's
good team.
solid.
You
Yeah,
got a good team.
he's
I know what you mean.
solid. You got some hate. We got some haters in the building, but it's okay because haters is our
That's
motivators.
it. That's it.
Okay, so like I was saying before, we know you as the businessman, the silent killer of the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
That's your new title. That's what I'm calling you, the silent killer of the
Killer.
DMV. Not killer. Oh, hold on.
Okay. Yeah.
See, we in the DMV. We might can't say that one
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Mike can't say
I've
that.
been through them that lifespan.
Okay, silent
Yeah.
worker, the silent worker, the silent go getter.
Yeah. There you
That,
go.
that's
There you
it.
go.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, cause we in the DMV. I don't want nobody get it construed.
There
This
you
is
go.
my. He's a good guy. And he don't be out here killing, but you do be killing the business game.
All right. Okay. Since you put it that way,
You be killing
I
it.
try.
You really
Yeah.
do. Okay, so talk to me about who was Dennis before, or so I guess back then he was Lonnie. Who was who
Mm,
was Lonnie
that's true.
before he became Dennis Green? Tell us a little bit about that,
Oh.
your journey into who you are now.
Yeah. Uh. Man, that's a good question. Um. So I would say I was on my own since I would say 15. And
Mm.
before that, don't get me wrong, I got a good family.
Mhm.
We had a
Mhm.
good foundation.
Mhm.
But the life traumas that happened through those times in my life
Mhm.
um affected me mentally and to a point where uh you go astray and you you become a product of your environment.
Okay.
And if you're gonna be and back then it's either wolf eat wolf or
Mhm.
it's gonna be hunt or be hunted. And
Mhm.
I was gonna be a hunter. I wasn't
Mhm.
gonna be hunted.
Mhm.
So and it was at a young age I was ahead of myself by hanging out with older people
Okay.
and learning certain things.
Yeah.
And just so happened I caught on quick to, you know, making money
Yeah.
and at a young age and I learned how to keep my mouth shut and um plugs or resources, you would never know who my resource was.
Mhm.
And I learned to, separate resources from the distribution part,
Mhm. Mhm.
so people would never know where it was coming from.
Mhm.
But the people that I was involved with, they would, I would guess I was their
Mhm.
resource.
Yeah.
And in uh, being in that position at an early age, you got older people see it and watching,
Mhm.
so they're gonna try their hand.
Yeah.
So in order to shut that down, you have to show certain things and um, have a team that's willing to, go to the limit,
Mhm.
and it's get to the point you dying for it, you ready to die for this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So um, that was a part of life that took me to prison,
Okay.
and and during my time in prison, I would I'm still trying to find my way because I really my the people that inspired me was people from the streets.
Right. Right.
So I
Of
didn't
course.
have no guidance or uh, nobody I could look up to who was doing the positive or the right thing.
Yeah.
I would run into certain people here and there. I remember this guy Ernie telling me, man, you need to. I was like 15 or 16. You need to get some property. I'm
Yeah.
15, 16. I'm like, yeah, I get that. I
Yeah.
worry about that when I get older.
Yeah. That's older people stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but for real, now I still hear his voice. That if I've been doing that then, I wouldn't have to do a lot of this shit that I'm out here
Mhm.
doing. Excuse my language.
No, you good. You good.
Mm.
Shit
So,
is cool. Shit is cool.
okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Watch the F bombs, but
yeah.
we can say
Okay.
shit.
So, um, so yeah, so that time in life is I had to grow up really fast.
Yeah.
Even losing my mom. at an early age.
Mhm.
Uh, and just not having that consistent presence in our household as far as man
Mhm.
and no leadership.
Mhm.
So my brother and I went out and just
Got to it.
caused havoc,
Mm.
whether it was, but we had fun though.
Mhm.
We had a fun childhood, but
Yeah.
when things got to where it had to get, violent or, get to the negative parts
Mhm.
of being, um,
In that life.
yeah, being in
Yeah.
a life, we just, it just,
Did what you had to do.
yeah,
Yeah, because
best,
sometimes you do have to do what you have to do.
yeah,
I didn't go into like violence, but I definitely went into survival mode. So I had similar background, whereas about 16, 17, I was kind of figuring life out by
I'm
myself.
gonna use that. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll use that. We was out here surviving.
Yeah, it was in
Yeah,
survival mode.
yeah,
Yeah. And you learn from whatever is teaching.
yeah.
And that's why I think it's so important that we share our stories and
Mm-hmm,
that we have these conversations because there's so many people, even grown adults, who don't have the teacher, don't
mm-hmm,
have a source of guidance. And so my aspiration is to shine a light on different
mm-hmm,
paths, many different journeys to whether it be success, whatever success looks like for you,
mm-hmm.
right? And so there's somebody that's going to identify with your journey and that's going to see themselves, even if it's not their current position where they were, and see where they are. And it's like, I could have made some different choices. I still have time to
Right,
make some
right.
different choices right now. I remember being in survival mode and um just trying to figure it out. And I did some things that, I wouldn't share. I'm not saying I'm
If I gotta share, you gotta share.
I'm not going to say I'm not proud of it because everything that I've done brought me to who I am. But, I definitely was a person who was looking at things as how can this benefit me?
Mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? I went into every situation with what is the benefit for me, even especially relationships. It was like, what am I getting out of this?
mm-hmm,
What are you gonna do for me?
mm-hmm,
If you can answer those two questions, like I didn't see the value in being in relationship because I was in survival mode. I'm
mm-hmm.
16, 17, trying to figure out how to get out of high school, finish high school, and go to college. Well, a boyfriend has to be paying my bills. Like,
Uh,
like
uh,
that was
that was
because
your
yeah,
mentality.
that was my
Somebody.
mentality at the
Mm-hmm.
time. Like, not, and I was just blessed enough to be able to. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break and
Okay.
refill these cups because I
Okay.
see you've been sipping. Let me get on
Yeah.
get refreshed.
I'm free in my mind. I
But
don't know what you doing.
free. But no, like a boyfriend would have to, not have to, but it was just like people in my life was adding the value.
Mm-hmm,
People in my life at the time, whether I was asking for it or it was coming to me, they was doing the things I needed them to do. My
mm-hmm,
grandparents provided somewhere for me to stay when I didn't have anywhere to stay,
mm-hmm,
to finish high school. And friends of mine, they were in my life and I was utilizing those resources because I was in survival mode. You know
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I remember sleeping on my friends' couches or staying at my friend Joanna, shout out to Joanna, in high school to make sure I get to school in my senior year. Like I remember being in survival mode. So I understand what that looks like to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even when I got to college, I took that same mentality from Philly to North Carolina. Like, y'all talking crazy. Like
Mm-hmm,
y'all ain't what y'all about to do for me.
mm-hmm,
Especially when I was in relationship with other people.
mm-hmm,
And it wasn't until I started thinking different, like how am I taking care of myself,
mm-hmm.
that I could really start appreciating and valuing the relationships that I had in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about your journey, like
Before.
what
Mm-hmm,
started, but there was a moment in time where the light bulb went off. There was a moment in time for you where something clicked or transitioned.
mm-hmm.
Talk to me a little bit about that moment or that
When
time
you say
period.
when you say clicked or transition, as far as what?
So you were in survival mode. You got yourself in when you went to prison, when you
Mm-hmm.
got yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
something happened between getting you to prison and decisions you made to
Mm.
get to prison and who you are now. Like when you started investing in yourself and
Oh
going
yeah,
into business for yourself, what
right.
was that light bulb?
Um, I think even before prison, there was something telling me that it's a better life than what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I went to, I was in, I think it was like McDonald's or something like that, and there was an older couple,
Mhm.
gray hair, and they had this aura about them
Mm.
that, they just was free. It's just
Mhm.
like they was free. They had an aura, and they just seemed like they was had money, and they were
Mhm.
just they were well groomed.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at these people like, why they got these smiles on their face, and
Mhm.
we in poverty.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Matter of fact, no, we were in a McDonald's. It was on Martin Luther King Avenue.
Okay.
I was playing football for the Norm 11 Boys and Girls Club,
Okay.
and those two people inspired me because of their just by their aura,
Mhm.
and I knew there was it had to be a better life
Mhm.
than being in the streets and s- selling drugs and
Mhm.
just doing whatever came with being in the streets.
Mhm.
So at that moment, I always had that thought of it's something better.
Mhm.
It's something out there I could be doing that can get me uh uh the finances I want, whatever.
Right.
I just don't know where to go get it from.
Yeah.
So being incarcerated, having all that time on my hand, I did a lot of self. It's a lot of time,
Mhm.
but you got to use it right. Self
Right.
reflecting,
Yeah.
getting your body right, your mind right,
Mhm.
and um, I I would say I knew, in talking to some of the people that was incarcerated.
Mhm.
I'm talking about really cold killers never coming home.
Mhm.
Like, man, if you don't, we playing chess. Like, man, you don't supposed to be in here.
Yeah.
If you ever come back, we gonna have a problem.
They were
So
saying this to you.
yeah, I had a whole
Wow.
time to tell me we gonna have a problem,
Yeah.
and that meant, we gonna go at it.
Yeah.
So I ain't want that.
I know that
You know what I'm
part.
saying? But I don't want to ever go back. But
Right. Right.
but it was a challenge. It was a
Yeah.
love challenge to me
Yeah. Yeah.
that like you got something, you got something.
Yeah.
So those inspiring moments and those people that inspired me were mostly from the streets.
Mhm.
There's only two people that I could say that's living life. I mean, that's living like sports
Mhm.
figures and things like that. And that's
Mhm.
Darryl Green
Mhm.
and
That's your
uh
cousin. That's
no,
your
no, no,
cousin.
no
Oh.
relation. No, but he
Y'all
was
just got the same last
yeah,
name. Okay.
cornerback from Washington Redskins.
Okay. Okay.
Him and Michael Jordan.
Oh wow.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So
Okay.
I guess I was inspired by
Yeah.
their will to win.
Yeah.
So um I knew that I mean I had plans when I came home that I was going to do this.
Okay.
I was going to do this. I was going to do that. When I came home, I ain't do none of that.
Mm.
So I wasn't in position to do
Okay.
it. But I did prepare myself for whatever came. My
Mhm.
work ethic,
Mm.
um, education.
Mhm.
I got a GED just cause it was available. I
Mhm.
had my GED before
Mhm.
I was incarcerated,
Mhm.
but I got it again.
Mhm.
And then when I came home, I went to Strayer University,
Okay. Okay.
and I knew that it got to be. They always tell you when you're young, education,
Mhm.
education,
Mhm.
education, and they don't mean to me. I believe that it doesn't have to mean you have to go get a degree in so much shit to
Yes.
make the money,
Yes.
but you have to have the knowledge
Yes.
and the information. When you
Absolutely.
mentioned information earlier,
Mhm.
information is knowledge. Information it can turn into money
That's
if
the
you know what you're
power.
doing.
That's the
There you
power.
go.
Yeah.
So that was very important that I get all the information I could so I can be confident in whatever move I make when I came. Even work, I had to, sacrifice and throw away pride.
Mhm.
I worked in the Walmart
Mm.
when I first came home. Just I got to tell these people something that
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
So um, and I had to figure out life. I had to figure out how to get around.
That's dope.
I got my license, but being away from uh, the city that long, you come home, all these new big buildings and
Yeah.
routes and shit.
Yeah.
The job that God provided for me to get in was a truck driving job.
Oh, so you learn how to get around.
So that job right there, you have to have. We had a map, and then the GPS systems came out.
Mm-hmm.
So with that alone helped me remember to get uptown and get around to Maryland and VA and all that,
Mm-hmm.
separate routes and
Mm-hmm.
avenues and highways.
Mm-hmm.
So um so that right there was like information
Mm-hmm.
to to build to be to build me,
Yeah.
help build
Expand your
myself.
mind. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
help build
Absolutely.
myself. So it took me some time to build myself up, and nobody probably knew I was home because I was had to,
Working.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had to build myself.
So I'm gonna give them a little teaser and fast forward just a little bit because I like to highlight Black-owned businesses, and
Mhm.
that is a big thing about the thing I feel led to do is help elevate our community.
Mhm.
That's one of the things I feel purposeful and passionate about is elevating our community.
Mhm.
So you have one of the best burger spots in this area.
Yeah.
I mean, the food is so good. The drink,
Mhm.
the drinks.
Mhm.
Y'all know I love a good cocktail, okay? Y'all know I like it sweet and
Yeah.
strong. Not sweet. I like it strong.
Mhm.
The drinks are so good. Tell the people, because we usually segment to highlight a Black-owned business,
Mhm.
but because we have you here and because I love Burgers at Apollo so, so much, we're going to do the spotlight and the highlight on Burgers at Apollo. So
Okay. Thank
tell us a little bit about where people can find Burgers at Apollo, go taste it,
Oh yeah.
and where you're located, and give them your favorite menu item.
Okay. So Burgers at Apollo. You can follow us on Instagram at Burgers at Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
The location address is 4531 Tailfair Boulevard, Camp Springs, Maryland. My favorite item on the menu would be all of. That's why it's there
Oh,
because all those things were approved.
yeah.
Isn't it depends on what mood you in.
Yeah, we talked about that when we went out to lunch that day. We were talking about like how your process is and picking the menu items and you were saying like you was back there in the kitchen,
Yeah,
like
yeah. When
cooking
I
it
first
up,
started,
tasting it out.
yeah,
And I did tell you when you introduced new items, so y'all still got the same menu because I hadn't gotten called to do the tasting for the new menu items yet.
you
So
can get the call. You
yeah.
gonna get the call.
Okay, cause
Yeah,
so as of right now, it's still the old menu, cause I know
yeah.
y'all cannot possibly have no new item on
We
there,
got a few
and I ain't
things,
tasted it yet.
but we got you.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, the
we
food
want
is good.
we want to add a few things, such as little bowls of mac and cheese,
Okay.
um, greens,
Mhm.
and we did add salad.
Okay.
We had some roll dogs, which is
Mhm.
hot dogs. You know how
Okay.
you say, that's my roll dog right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So
Ah.
we got hot dogs, like they're your best friend.
Yes. It's
That's
one
the
of my
slogan.
favorite things about your restaurant at Burgers at Apollo
Uh,
is the
it's not a
connection.
glizzy.
It's not a glizzy. It's a roll dog.
It's a roll dog. I reestablished the term.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
It's the
You
roll
gotta
dog.
reestablish the term
Yeah.
sometime. One of my favorite things about your brand and when you walk into the restaurant is the highlight of the DC culture.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not from here, so I don't know a lot of the history and the culture, but just looking at the wall, it's like a mural of the DC culture.
Mhm.
Where'd that idea come from?
Um, I went out. I went to I took a ride out to Tyson's
Mm-hmm.
two, and I was at I think the place is called like Wood Fire or Wildfire,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And they had this big picture on a black and white picture.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got the deal done, I was like, what am I gonna do with the inside? How it's gonna be decorated?
Yeah.
And when I went out there, I saw this big picture on the wall of a Italian guy outside of his restaurant or
Mm-hmm.
whatever he was selling, his little
Mm-hmm.
grocery store
Mm-hmm.
mini market.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the oranges and kind of put you in the mind frame of the Godfather.
Uh-huh.
So I thought it'd be nice to have a good picture of one of DC's um inspirations, which was Mayor Berry, Marion Berry. So I was like, Marion Berry, but nah, I can't do do it without Chuck Brown.
Right, right, right. Of course.
And then one person I left out that I just forgot about, but at the time
Yeah.
was Donnie Simpson.
Uh-huh.
Even though he's not from here, but he was a good
Big
inspiration. Yeah,
inspiration here. And
yeah. Um, so once I got those pictures, and then I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna add. So I started adding on people and
mhm.
people that I thought inspired our culture and our
Mhm.
community.
Mhm.
So um, that's how that happened. And then once it was done and people came in there,
Mhm.
it became a thing. Why am I
Mhm.
not on the wall? Why am I?
Right.
Wait,
I
wait,
was
wait, wait.
just about that's where I was going with this. That's where I was going with this.
So it
Yeah.
became a thing. So I'm like, okay. So when we started Burgers at Manassas,
Uh-huh.
it was a bigger wall. We had bigger, it was bigger space,
Mhm.
bigger wall,
Mhm.
and I just started incorporating other people who I thought would who's inspired GoGo,
Mhm.
who inspired our community,
Mhm.
and who inspired me.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
All right, so we're going to take a quick little break. We're going to refresh in our glasses. We're going to come back and get some more information because I want to transition from who you were to who you are now. So I want you to
yeah,
talk a little bit about your journey to who you are now and getting the restaurants and expanding and even in the go-go. Y'all, Lonnie be playing the congos. He
yeah.
could be playing the
And
congos.
I didn't mention that because that was part of the fun and part of our life when
Yeah.
we were really young.
Okay, so when we come back, we're going to get into your current journey and your journey into entrepreneurship, okay?
Cool.
All right, y'all, we'll be right back.
All right.
All right, y'all. So, of course, we have Mr. Dennis Green on the Freedom Couch. And I love hearing your journey. I think it's so important to have these kind of conversations because you get to learn so much about how people journey through their life, regardless of their circumstances,
Mhm.
to get to the place where they are now. So, we already gave the plug for Burgers at Apollo. The
Mhm.
food. Go, if you're in the area or coming to the area, go to Burgers at Apollo and Burgers at
Manassas
Manassas
or LaCaze Seafood.
or LaCaze
It's right next door
Seafood.
for Burgers at Apollo.
So I didn't even go there yet because LaCaze Seafood is like the grown up. So dinner, Burgers at Apollo is like lunchtime, and then go for dinner to LaCaze
There you go.
Seafood. That's how I like to
I like
spend
the
my
way you
whole
did
day with Dennis.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
gotta go. Wait, I ain't even say. We talking about the brunch spot upstairs?
Hmm?
We talking about the brunch spot upstairs? That's not.
Oh no,
That's not.
no.
Okay, that's
We sold
completely
it. Yeah, we
separate.
sold it.
Okay, okay. We ain't gonna talk about
We
that then.
we can talk about Murray Lou's too.
Well, we can talk about Mary. See, this is what I'm talking about. My guy, he's plugged. When I say plugged, Mary Lou's food,
Yeah, some southern cuisine. Yep.
so freaking good, so good. And this is why I love you because when I say you make the moves without having to make so much noise, like your noise, this is how I think about you. The ocean, when you do like this,
Mhm.
you could do it like this very softly and make a ripple in the ocean.
Mhm.
But the impact spans over like the whole ocean. You never know what this little wiggle right here is going to impact the whole ocean.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it because there's so many people that just thump right into the water and just that's it. You just sink to the bottom. That's it. You just made a whole lot of noise. You ain't make a whole lot of impact. But I like the fact that you take one idea and continue to expand your impact. That is just so dope. Where does that did you always have that or did that just come along with you being Dennis?
I think it from a young age, just like I said, the failures, and I remember being on the podcast and I was like, I always wanted more, and wanting more, not meaning greedy, but wanting better, wanting to make the most out of a situation. So that's where that comes from.
Okay, so talk about your failures a little bit. Give us a failure that led you into like give me one example of you failing forward because that's what I like to call it. I don't like to just say it's a failure, it's a loss. I don't count anything that we experience as a loss.
You go.
It's a fail forward, right? So give me one example of how you fail forward.
Um, I'm gonna talk about the most recent one. As far as business, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever.
So I
Well,
started
yeah, let's
a
do business.
trucking. I started a trucking company called Hope's Truck. I named it after my sister who's deceased.
Okay.
Um, so one of my cousins encouraged me, man, I'm gonna be the driver. I'm gonna do this and that. I'm like, yeah, you can. It's a lot of money, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy the truck. You gonna drive it, right? So I got into the trucking business, and he said he said he was gonna do this, but I had to fish around for other drivers.
Wow.
And I got it.
Wow.
I got it and spent it was like 70,000
Sheesh.
for the truck. So he was wishy washy with being on time. I had I think it was I can't remember the trucking company that was subbing us. They called 6 a.m. like, where your driver at? I call him. He don't even answer.
Shut up.
Yeah, he don't even. You got some tissue?
Oh. You need some tissue?
When I drink or eat,
Your sinuses open
my
up. We're going to get you a
sinuses,
tissue. Yeah.
Okay.
Can somebody get him a little tissue?
Please, duck sauce. I think he's my big
It's a
brother. He is my big brother, but you can still help me out.
Yeah. Hook my man up. Okay, so you get your cousin to drive for you. You buy the truck. You're gonna go into this trucking business, and then he don't show up for work.
Yeah, he don't show up.
You still got the truck?
Yeah. Oh no, not right now.
Oh, you sold the truck.
I'll tell you about it.
Oh, okay.
So I seen that he was gonna be bullshitting. So I reached out to my uncle who was also a truck driver, but he was driving for another company.
Okay.
So he was like, you know what? I think he stopped working with them and came over. And my uncle came over. He stopped working. And I reached out or put not an ad, but I put out that I'm looking for a driver. These drivers destroy the truck. They don't care as much, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not theirs.
You know, my uncle, I think he did his best, but still, it was just something always wrong. Tire flat, this going wrong, this. So it was hard to really make money for me. They made their money because I make sure everybody get paid.
Right.
So the best thing for me to do was wait till my brother come home. I said, I'm going to put my brother in there. I know he going to take care of it.
Yeah.
So we went to pick my brother up one day we thought he was going to be released, and they kept him.
No way.
They kept him locked up, and we'll get to that point if we can.
Yeah.
They kept him locked up illegally. So my brother was in for some time illegally, but get back to the story. So I couldn't find a good driver who was dedicated. Now, I wasn't going to drive.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm in the IT field.
Yeah.
You didn't know. I'm a network engineer.
I did not know
Yeah,
that. See,
so
this is what I'm talking about.
I'm a
The
network
silent
engineer.
killer.
Yeah. So that was my foundation.
Okay.
You know, and so I knew I couldn't be no driver.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I still have the business.
Yeah.
But I sold the truck.
Okay.
I was able to sell the truck for the same amount that I bought it for.
Dang, even
So-
with the damages and stuff?
Yes.
That's tight.
Because that's how a trucking business is sometimes when so it wasn't a actual loss for me,
Yeah.
but I hate to say failure as well, because it's either a lesson or a blessing.
Right.
But if I gotta say that was a failure because it didn't produce what I expected it to do.
Right.
So that's why
What was your lesson out of that, though?
don't trust what people say. Watch their actions. And not only that, their energy. Like, even though somebody can woo you in some shit, into some things, and it can still turn out that, you know what I'm saying, that they was bullshit.
Yeah.
But you just have to be able to discern who you dealing with.
Right.
Even like far as going to business with people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's what's up. I love to say like a fail forward, and that was a real fail forward because you ended up walking away, even though it may have felt like at a certain time you was losing out on money or losing out, but you still was able to sell the truck for the same amount. So you really didn't lose much money besides the maintenance and stuff that you paid for it. But so how I go off on tangents because when you say something, it kind of sparks a thought into me. So you mentioned your brother was locked up illegally. What?
So he was supposed to come home at a certain date. and we drove to Virginia down to I can't remember the county or whatever it was. We drove down there to get it,
Yeah.
and we just wait. We like waiting. So walk in, talk to people at the front desk.
Yeah.
Like, look,
He supposed to be leaving.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, he's not getting released today because he's not on our. We're like, well, he told us to be down here.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they kept him in. So
How long they keep him for?
18 months.
What?
So that's 33 years total.
You lying to
Yeah,
me.
33 years total. So that situation came about. I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about it because,
Yeah, of
he
course,
going through
but
some situation. But
yeah.
I think I could talk about it. He
yeah.
probably can't.
Yeah.
So he going through that situation now.
That's crazy.
Where they held him in there where they shouldn't have been holding him in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was on news for, I'm not gonna say where, but
Yeah.
it was on the news in that county, and he got paper,
The proof
got
in the
the-
paperwork. Yeah.
yeah.
So how does someone, and we ain't gonna get into much in your brother's business,
Mhm.
but how does someone go about fighting for those rights that are when they're mistreated in that way? Like, how would someone?
Incarcerated.
Yeah, like if they're.
I wish I knew.
Uh,
But the best thing is get a lawyer, a specific lawyer that deals with people that's incarcerated.
Okay.
Because he do have a hell of a team.
Yeah.
That's taking care of this situation for him. That specialize in people that's in prison.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he found that out. I think my cousin Sean,
Okay.
which is also my drummer, he found was it NCAA?
NAACP? Yeah,
Yeah,
NAACP.
yeah, he found somebody from there
Yeah.
to help represent my brother.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And that speaks a lot to what we were talking about before about knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So education and knowledge, I'm big on, like, I be telling my team, like, get the information. I'm always encouraging them to look into personal development, look into expanding your mind. Like, I can't talk about freeing people's minds if my team is not actively working to free their mind.
Yeah.
Because I find so much value in knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about college degree. It's not about sitting in a class or going to an institution. It's about the access to information.
That's it.
And in this day and age, the access of information is so available to us. There's audiobooks, there's podcasts like this, there's audio podcasts, there's so much information. I mean, you can put your information.
YouTube is
It's a hell of a resource, man. It's a hell of a resource. You can ask ChatGPT, what do I not know about? What do I not know about anything? And ChatGPT will give you an outline. You can go do some research. Like, there's so much access to information that I really implore people to get plugged in. If there's something, I mean, you don't know what you don't know. So, of course, if you don't have an idea, you don't know what to look for. But just keep exposing yourself to different ways of thinking. That means follow, like, and subscribe to the Free Your Mind podcast for conversations with different people and different journeys of life so that you can be exposed to different information, and that can spark a light in you to go and look into something new. Somebody might be interested. You might just know you don't have a job and you don't know what to do. He mentioned trucking. Go look into trucking and see if that's something that you'll be able to do. You can't say you can't start a trucking business if you didn't even know it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Look into it. If then once you have the knowledge, then you can make a decision. Say, hey, this might not be for me, but at least go look into something. At least he also started a restaurant. Also playing in the band. So are those two things like connected, or like where did the band come from? Let's talk about that.
plug in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Make the noise about the plug-in band.
Yeah.
Make the noise about the plug-in.
So when even prior to me being incarcerated, I think we went to the fish market
Okay.
long time ago.
I love the fish market until they did that protest thing where they that black.
They will always had the live music.
Yeah.
On, I think Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So that inspired me to I want my own restaurant
Mm-hmm.
and I want to have live music in it.
That's dope.
So when Burgers at opened, we had I think Got My Own Sound in there.
Mhm.
West.
I
West
love
Band.
Got My Own Sound.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wes. Shout
Yeah.
out to John.
Yeah.
Whole crew.
So that was And even though you know how small burgers that is, we just like, look, we gonna have live music.
Yeah.
Um, so that's how that came about as far as live music in the restaurant.
Mhm.
Um, so sometimes Weston couldn't make it,
Okay.
and then we would scramble around trying to find a good band to put in place.
Yeah.
So we reached out to my cousin Sean. So he always has resources of musicians and things like that. So he had a 3-piece or 4-piece band come in there.
Mhm.
And then one day, um, well, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Wes got this little pad
Mhm.
that he play with.
Mhm.
We got congos on it. So
Mhm.
he'd call me up sometimes and be like, here, play the congos. So I play the
Mhm.
congos when he get into his go-go set.
I think that night that I came, you was on the Congos back
Yeah,
there on the pad.
yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
So that was, got the people dancing. I'm like, okay. So when my cousin Sean was consistently filling in
Mhm.
and playing, my cousin Sean said he had a pad. I was like, cool, bring your pad. I'm gonna play the pad.
Yeah.
So we started playing the pad.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then audience, people come in and party. So I was like, okay. And I think Duck came in. He would do some rapping when the singers would sing.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, we might be we
Got a
might
little
got something
sound
going.
here. Yeah.
So I said, you know what? We're gonna do a situation called plug in, where musicians come in or singers come in and just plug in.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then it became a thing. And then once we got on the patio, that was it. They thought we was really a band,
Mhm.
and which we were, but
Yeah.
I didn't take it as serious as a band that gonna be playing at private
Different
events
venues
like
and
we
stuff.
did.
Yeah.
So it became a thing, and then now you have plug in that
Yeah.
we still invite people to if we see musicians or anything or singers to come, we still invite them to come on up.
Yeah.
We'll do a song with whatever too,
Yeah.
whatever they
Yeah.
want to do.
Yeah.
So
It's a
it's
dope
like an open mic
situation. It's
situation.
fun.
Yeah.
I've only seen y'all a couple times because Thursdays, I don't know, it's always something happening on a Thursday. I never can get outside. But
Yeah.
I have seen y'all like 3 or 4 times. I haven't made it to the patio,
Mm-hmm.
but
Oh yeah, you got to come to patio.
my wife goes all the
That's it.
time.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Like she goes
Like
all the
Tiffany,
time.
yeah, she ain't here.
She be like, you got a rehearsal? She got a rehearsal? That's usually Thursdays. It's like rehearsal day
Yeah.
all the time. But she goes all the time. She be bringing her friends. Anytime somebody come in from out of town,
Yeah.
I'm like, take them to Burgers or
Appreciate
take them to LaCaze. Yep.
Yeah.
And she's there all the time.
Yeah, appreciate it. I see a lot.
And she get me a to-go plate. Now I do make sure that happens. I do get me some food.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I give me some food. Y'all that macaroni and cheese, the collard greens, and that salmon is my right now where I've been hitting on. The tacos, if I already ate or if I'm not as hungry, them salmon tacos.
Oh,
I
you
think
see,
it's
I'm
the salmon
hungry
tacos or
now.
the shrimp
I'm
tacos.
about to go up there.
Yeah, I think it's the shrimp taco. It's either the salmon taco. I think it's the salmon tacos. Yeah. They be hitting on everything.
Oh yeah.
But the food is delicious. The food's, and I'm a Creole girl, so
That concept LaCaze was developed by one of my partners. She was my partner with the Real Milk and Honey.
okay.
Monique.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a real good job. She did
Yeah.
a real good job with the LaCaze concept.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
food, man, she hitting on everything. Okay, so I like to do a little segment. There's one more piece of your journey. I mean, I've been finding that the things that the people that I bring to the Freedom House and the Freedom Couch, they are so multi-dimensional. Like I have so many questions and want to just get all up in their business because they do so many things. They have such an amazing journey that sometimes I don't even get to ask all of my questions in one episode. But there's a special thing that you have started, and I just learned today that it's been going on for a long time. I thought I was hitting it at the very beginning. So we're gonna get into that when we come back. I do a segment called Tips because I went through a lot of pieces of a journey to my now freedom space and in my journey of creating the life that I want to live. And so a lot of the times I write the tips down that I have or the things that I've learned and I want to share them with people. So we're going to take a quick segment to tips in the corner. And when we come back, I want to talk about this amazing event that you have coming up.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get into it. We're going to tell the people how they can come and we're going to invite them. We're going to talk about it when we come back. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to head over to the corner tips and we'll be right back. I remember I was talking to a mentor of mine and I was explaining to them how I felt so burnt out. It was just everything business, running a business, and social media, content, marketing, branding, updating the website. I mean, the list was overwhelming that I didn't want to do anything anymore. And one of the pieces of advice, it really kind of shifted my perspective, which I talk about a lot here. And it really changed my life, actually, was pursuing a passion project. So today's tips tip is, of course, pursuing a passion project. And I had to do some research because at first I didn't really understand what that meant because I'm a very passionate person. I feel like every project I have is passion. But it was something that would bring me joy, something that I could really do for the love of it, for the just the pleasure of it. It took my mind off of stress and worry. And the very first thing that I did was I got into the gym. The very next thing that I did was I started auditioning for musicals and stage plays, and it was something that just made me smile. It just, for those 2 hours at rehearsal or that day or that weekend where we're doing the show, I could just completely turn out the world and focus on the thing that brought me so much joy. And what it allowed me to do was to refocus, to recenter, and it made me feel rejuvenated to go back to doing the work. And the last passion project, which was something that was completely unexpected, was the Free Your Mind podcast. And it actually turned into what I feel now is a purpose of encouraging and empowering people to shift their perspective and really create the life that they want to live. It went from just being something that was fun and something I like to do and talk about to really a purpose. And the guests that I get to meet, the opportunities that I get to have from this show, it's just been life changing. So, what I encourage you to do is find something that you love to do, something that's fun, and maybe you're doing it for just the joy of doing it. Allow it to become whatever it is, but pursue that passion project. Just take a few minutes out of your day or out of your week to do something that brings you joy, and it will allow you to refocus and get you ready to get back to the activities that will make you that cool. You know what I'm saying? All right, so enough of my yapping. Today's guest is actually giving me so many gems, so much information. So let's get back into today's episode. I hope y'all had y'all pen and papers out because that tip is something that I really, really live by. It's something that's helped me so much in my journey. And I don't know, it's just been so helpful. So I had to share it today. Okay, so I was planned to come back and talk about the new event that you, or not new, but the event that you have coming up. But before I even get there, if we was editing sound and adding like some sounds into these videos, it'd be like a skirt, like a DJ skirt, because I just found out you got a daycare center.
We got 4.
Oh my!
Well, we got 3 now.
This is what This is what I'm talking about. Like, okay, what?
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm not even going to talk about how you create it because it doesn't even matter at this point. It's giving start a business, run it, multiply it at this point. Like at this point, it's giving start a business, multiply it, put it in multiple cities. Where does this thought process come from? Because this is now the second that I know of, different type of business that you have expanded into to multiply itself. Where does that come from?
I think I spoke about it earlier. Just maximizing what you have, maximizing the potential from your circle, people, your loved ones who really got it. If you see something in your loved ones, or even friend or whoever.
Yeah.
And Tanetta Murray, that's my partner.
Okay.
She runs damn near everything. She's the warden. But she like having the right people in the right place to do that. Like you can't just go do whatever, but you got to have the right people in the right place.
Okay, so let me get some coaching right quick.
Okay.
So, because I'm about to ask you some questions about business because I am a serial entrepreneur. Like I credit myself as being a go-getter, I love being in business. I love being in business and I love how business operates. I feel like businesses operates like my mind operates, like my brain operates. Not everybody's brain, but like my brain operates and functions like a business. So, how do you start the businesses? Like, do you just this one making profit, you take the money out and put it into something else? How do you do that?
Um, yeah, basically, uh, after the trucking company, well, no, actually, during the trucking company, we started daycare, TLC, which is the Learning Curve, CDC, child. And I hate to say, I'm sorry that I said daycare, but it's the Learning Curve Child Development Center because we're not a daycare.
Okay.
We're a child development center where
Child Development Center.
yes, where we develop children.
Yes.
Where, we try to get them in the mindset, get the kids in the mindset of pursuing their dreams as early as possible.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
we got kids there that think they're going to be or pursuing to be firefighters
Yeah.
or lawyers or teachers or
Yeah.
whatever they, so we try to, you probably go on our page and you'll see that an actual fire truck
Yeah.
is there for one of the kids that feel like they're going to be a firefighter.
Wow.
So we give them that visual so they can be a somewhat tunnel vision.
Yeah.
So they can be focused on if that's what they really want to do. But you got to give kids their time to develop
Absolutely.
their brains and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But you do give them a sense of hope, sense of faith, and a sense of direction. So
Yeah, that's so dope. Like I feel like when I went and asked you those questions when we went to lunch that day, like this is what I was saying earlier. You don't know what you don't know because there's so many questions that I have from this conversation that I wish I would have known. I wish I would have had the information I have now to ask better questions at that because there's so much there's so many questions I could have picked your brain about that I didn't even know to ask.
So what I'll do is I'll give a layout of far as business
Yeah.
with my businesses that I majority own.
Okay.
Other stuff I'll just partnerships with other different entities and business.
Right.
So Hopi's Trucking.
Yeah.
Then I started D-Tech, which is a general contracting business that I started. We do some IT build outs. We do that's one side of it.
Okay.
Other side of it, we do renovations. We do flooring and painting and cleaning and whatever you can name that would do renovations.
Yeah.
We do that. We have a CBE in DC.
Okay.
So those are the first businesses that we had. And then we started out with the daycares as well.
Okay.
So not the daycare, the child development
Child Development Center.
So
right.
we had
right.
one in Southeast. Then we got two uptown.
Okay.
And then we have one not too far from Burgers at Apollo.
Okay.
So that's 4.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, we had downsized because right now going through
The tariffs and all the stuff that's going
all
on.
that's
Right.
going on,
Got
we just
you.
thought it would be best to just make all the kids come to just one of the centers that's
Okay.
uptown. They not too far from each other.
Okay.
That's uptown. And then the restaurants.
Okay.
I was
about to say
Burgers at
restaurants.
Apollo, Burgers at Manassas, LaCaze Seafood, and then my small partnership with Mary Lou's.
Yeah.
So those are the businesses that I can name
Yeah.
right now that
Right.
I could say that I'm.
And I promise you, y'all, I know that there's more things that you got your hands in, and more things to come that you're gonna have your hands in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be talking to you for real, because I got this idea, this concept about a business. But I'm gonna let you get your bearings out before we really go into that.
Ain't number to call away. So
Absolutely.
you got it, whatever information, and that's what it's about, man. Us sharing and just supporting each other.
Yes.
Because if I'm the only one out of my circle, even or out of my community,
Yeah.
that's doing something,
Yeah.
that there's really no success in that.
Absolutely not.
The success comes when you inspiring or uh, supporting other people with,
Yes.
and being
What
able
they're
to
doing,
elevate
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
So
And it's like works full circle because you get to invest in and invest with them
there
and
you go.
help build them,
Mhm.
and then it brings you return, and then you get to
Yeah,
then invest and build with something else.
there we go.
So one of my favorite things that you do, I mean, all of these things I've talked about. LaCaze Seafood, the food is amazing. Burgers at Apollo, the food is amazing. I haven't got out quite to Manassas yet,
Mhm.
but I know the food's amazing. If it's anything like
It's
Apollo,
same as Burgers at Apollo.
okay, so if it's anything like that, I already know that the food is amazing.
Mhm.
But you have an event coming up very,
Yeah,
very
indeed.
soon
Yes.
that
Put this.
I yes, put it up here. Make sure y'all get it on the
Yeah.
camera. Yeah, yeah. And I got me a little shirt here.
Yeah.
An event coming soon. So we know there's not a lot actually. There's like a couple other themed events that have a similar concept.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, I love the color blue. Okay,
Mm.
so it's called Dinner in Blue. And the concept, you have taken what they have and expanded it so much. I mean, y'all, it was people, were they on stilts? It was girls dancing. It was live music, live band performances.
dancers.
The fire dancers was lit. Like so many black, beautiful people came out dressed in blue. Your girl was looking stunting because it's what I do. Period. But we're not gonna talk about it. It's not too much on me. But it was so
Yeah.
fun. Like just my favorite part was looking around at the tables.
Yeah.
Right. So you do come and get your table set up.
Mm-hmm.
Design your table how you want to design it.
Yeah.
And then there's a possible winning of a prize. So compete, okay? If you want to win, compete. Come bring your friends, get all of y'all tickets, get a table of 12, buy tickets for everybody, and bring y'all details and y'all information and all y'all gizmos and gadgets and design y'all table.
Yeah.
And make it outstanding, and you might could win a prize.
That's it.
How about that?
Yeah.
Outside of that, just the community of people
Yeah.
that are there.
Yeah.
You bring out stellar guests. Like our entertainment is top tier.
Yeah.
Like it's number one entertainers in the city.
Yeah.
They just all just happen to be his friends. Like this is what I'm talking about. He's a top tier guy. He got top tier friends.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I feel like I'm a middle tier friend. Middle tier friend. I'm a top tier.
Yeah, you talk to me. Yeah.
I'm a top tier friend, y'all. I'm a top tier friend. I love me some him. But he brings out stellar guests. He brings out the stellar people. I mean, everybody, the outfits. It's so many parts of it that I loved. The tables, the entertainment, of course, the outfits.
Yeah.
The people came out dressing.
Yeah.
I mean, you put on a show. And then it's a unique color.
Yeah.
This light blue, like nobody's doing that. Everybody's doing a black or a white, a pink. Y'all,
Yeah.
kill the pink and white.
Yeah.
Kill the pink and white parties. Like for me, I mean, I do whatever y'all want to do, but just for me, the pink and white party just be a lot for me. The hot pink just be too much. But that blue,
Yeah.
it's so unique.
And that can give you set you in the mindset of freedom,
Yes.
because that's why that's my color, because only thing is when I was only thing we could see when we was incarcerated off that little slab of a window was sky blue.
Come on, the sky blue.
Yeah, so
And the sky is just the ceiling of the limit. It's just the beginning of the limit.
Yeah.
Because so much beyond the sky.
Yeah, so that many days that those thoughts get to thinking,
Yeah.
it was that sky blue looking up in the sky of freedom.
Yeah.
And when I came home, some people, I don't know if everybody do it, but they kiss the ground and they, look up
Look
to
up to the
sun
sky.
and put their hands up.
Yeah.
So that's a symbol of freedom, and it also means a lot of other things.
Yeah, yeah.
Look up sky blue, look at all the colors, look at all the
Meanings of the
terms
word.
or meanings
Yeah.
of the words of sky blue, that color, and it means a lot of different things. But and I think elegance is one of them as well. But yes, so Denon Blue, it started off as my
Y'all see the
birth.
shirt?
Yeah, it started off as my birthday party.
Okay.
But prior to Denon Blue, I would always have events where
Okay.
you had to have. We had a boat ride. That was like the biggest event.
Mm-hmm.
Cookouts and stuff was really big, but I had a boat ride,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody had to wear sky blue.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's your
was
color.
yeah. I'm talking about the boat ride itself was
It's
that
lit.
probably was yeah. That was definitely one to remember.
We might have to buy a boat, friend.
Oh, it's coming.
We might have to buy a boat,
Yeah.
friend, so we can just have these
Yeah.
sky blue parties on the boat
Yes, indeed.
anytime.
It's coming.
Yeah.
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 So,
So what's the
oh,
details of, before you go into the story? Tell the details because I don't want people to start watching this and forget about the party. So tell the details about Dinner on Blue.
so Denon Blue this year is going to be held in Waldorf. We moved it to Waldorf.
Okay.
This is the 5th year anniversary. We
5
had,
is my favorite number.
yeah, yeah. So 5th year anniversary. July 19th is we moved it to Regency Furniture Stadium.
Okay.
This year we highlighting so the soft girl Earl. We got 3 females of live entertainment.
Okay.
We have Tyra Levon. We have Yanni Crawley, and then we have Miss Kim, Miss Kim
Experience. Yeah.
or should I say in friends, because Yanni is coming with some friends,
Yeah.
and then Kim is coming with some friends.
My
And
two. I
you
love
don't
them
want to
too.
miss. You don't want to miss these special guest friends that they're bringing.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be adding something else too. So
Mm-hmm.
don't miss it.
Yeah. Last year I think we had, of course, Scooby, Derek came. The incomparable Black Alley was there.
There you go.
We had Plug-in Band was there.
Alicia.
Alicia, yes,
Yeah,
from
Next.
The Voice, right?
there you
Yes,
go.
she was there.
Yeah.
And then what was the group that
Next.
came? Next.
Next.
Yes. It was a grand time, y'all.
Yeah.
We had a great time. People was out there in they light sky blue. Let me say it right, sky blue, and looking fabulous. Tables decorated. Of course, Terry decorated our table because I'm not the one for that. But bring your fan though. Not the. Hold up. Hold on.
the
Hold
boots-
on.
the
Hold
boots-
on.
boots-
Not the boots on the ground fan. Not I
Bring a fan though. Bring
but
a
bring a
Denon
fan,
Blue
not the boots on the ground fan.
Yeah.
I mean, bring the boots on the ground fan, of course, if that's what you like to do. I think by July 19th, I think we may have exhausted the boots on the ground. I think we might need to pick the boots up and
Yeah.
put something else on the
Yeah,
ground.
it's summertime.
Yeah, it's gonna be summertime. Like put the boots
It's hot.
up until
It's gonna be hot.
into the fall. You know, get the boots a break because the boots been on the ground for a while. Okay, let's just bring the sandals on the ground.
Yeah, bring
Put the sandals on the ground.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. I mean, just get your outfit right, get your food right. Okay, get your table decorations right. Come out ready to party, celebrate Black excellence, our amazing entrepreneur, and it's something else. It's something
year-
else that go with it.
Yeah. So this year we do have some food trucks, and we will have a specific restaurant set up outside, like a small little restaurant. So
Every year it
that's
gets
for the
better and
stand-
better.
Yeah, that's for the standing room people that just want to buy a ticket just to get in.
Yeah,
But if you have your table,
yeah.
other than the people that have their tables and tents and everything, for the people that just want to buy a ticket.
Oh, you can get tents now?
Yeah, we got tents today.
See, it gets get bigger and better.
Yeah.
We're not talking to the people that's just gonna walk in. We talking to the people that's buying the tent.
Oh, okay. The tents and the VIP all up.
Yeah. That's what we're talking to
platinum.
them.
We're
We're talking to them. We're talking to platinum.
Yeah, platinum people.
And everybody watching is going to get a table.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. You definitely want to get a table because you want to experience everything that come along with it.
Yeah.
You know, be exhausted when you leave this party.
'Cause
It's a celebration.
Because I was.
Yeah.
When I say we took an Uber there because we already knew the location set up. We already know we not walking no far.
Yes, indeed.
But when I say I
No.
slept,
But this, I'm going to cut you off. This time, you pull right up in the parking lot.
shut up.
Yes, and you walk right there. It's not. It's.
Stop
it's not, you gotta walk
playing.
far distance this time.
It's giving elevated experience
Yes,
each
we
year.
make it convenient for everybody.
I love
It's different
that.
than the other event.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, the other thing that's
Yeah.
happening. Yeah.
we make it convenient for everybody, and we give
Yes.
you live entertainment.
Yes.
And the festivities itself is what you really want to be there for. Don't get me wrong, the live entertainment and the DJ. We
Tell
got
them right
DJ,
here. Tell them right there.
we
That's
got
your
DJ
camera.
Trini. We
Mm-hmm.
got oh my man, Easy Street host. We got
Party.
April Watts
Party.
hosting. Man, make sure y'all be there because we gonna have a ball. And just so y'all didn't know, it started off as my birthday party, and I will be celebrating my 50th birthday party. Make sure y'all get there.
Y'all, can y'all believe this man is 50?
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Oh yeah.
In all of these things that he has done, he only 50,
Yeah.
but he looked like this in his 50 years old. It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes, indeed.
So, Dennis, I don't even know how to end this because I'm not done asking questions, but I know we got to wrap this up.
We can wrap it up.
So I just feel like
Hold on. So give me that beat. Be coming soon. And
I forgot about giving it a
that
beat.
was
It just
coming soon
keeps
as well.
coming.
So yeah, we
Tell
not finished.
Okay, we don't have a whole lot of time. Give them a
That's
little
part of my
sprinkle
freedom.
of what is give me that beat. Give them a little taste of what that's about.
So give me that beat is it's a series. We narrowing it down because we want to make sure it's impactful. We're not gonna stretch it. It's an 8-episode series where we have go-go bands competing for a grand prize of $25,000. However, that amount can change once we get some supporters and some. I'm talking to a few people right now.
Tell them.
I want y'all supporters and y'all networks help me raise this money to 100,000 so we can get these bands off the ground the way they should be. So there's a lot of bands out here that's really got it. It is I don't want to say gatekeeping, but you do have a specific few amount of bands that always get the calls and they consider as our high level bands, which of course some of them are, and most of them are. But however, there's a lot of bands out here who got it. And I mean, they really got it. They got the talent, they got the sound, they got everything they need. And yeah. And y'all want to tune in to Give Me That Beat once we drop.
Yes.
We get ready to do our finale. We trying to make this deal with Howard Theater.
Okay.
So Howard Theater, look, we got something big, so make sure y'all tune in and sponsor this situation because
Yes.
it's heavier than what you think.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need the sponsorships. We need the support. We need the support. Look, if I know it's only 31 days in a month, but if you could just like maybe get 3 months to try and support everything he doing, because it's a lot of businesses, it's a lot of things he doing.
Yes, indeed.
Carve out some time. I mean, it's probably gonna take you all month to just get to everywhere he is, but carve out some time, support him at his restaurants. If you got kids need to learn and be developed, send them to his child cares, development centers. He can feed you, he can educate you, he can entertain you. He can probably grow your mind, and then watch the Free Your Mind podcast so you can elevate your mind and listen through his journey. Find something in his journey that you resonate with and help it to push you forward in your own journey. Okay, so we're about to wrap this up. I hate to let you go, but I got to wrap it up. So before I do that, I'm going to let you close out the show, okay?
Okay.
Before I do that, I just want to say, everybody, please go and subscribe, like, and share this episode, this podcast, Free Your Mind Pod on YouTube and freeyourmind.pod on all socials. We love your support. We appreciate you. Get together in the comments. Let's talk about this episode, things you love, things you liked. If you have some information or some questions for Dennis, make sure you drop them in the comments or drop them. I'll send you how to get in contact with him. Don't be trying to reach out to him because he already got a lot going on. Just send a message to me. I'll forward it over to him. If you want to learn about how to run a business, how to start a business, how to multiply a business, and then wash, rinse, and repeat that multiple times, hit us up in the comments. Follow, like, subscribe to Free Your Mind Pod on YouTube. Okay, so to end us, I'm not going to say nothing else because they were already wrapping me up. And every time you say one thing, it leads me to another question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to just give the people a mic drop gem, something that they can feast on, feed on, and help them grow. Just one thing, just drop it on them, and we're going to roll it out.
I'm gonna give you a fist of things.
Okay.
Okay. Put God first.
Stay right there in your camera.
Put God first. if you, whatever you're doing in life, be prepared to fail. But most of all, be prepared to get up as many times you got to. For make sure y'all get y'all tickets to Then on Blue. It's my 50th birthday party. Make sure y'all get there. You want to follow Burgers That Presents. Burgers That Presents is my production. Whatever we do in production, that's Then on Blue. That's Give Me That Beat. Whatever it is, Burgers That Presents on Instagram and what's the other one? Facebook. And Facebook. And other than that, good love, good life, good living.
Yes. And on that, we out, y'all. Till the next episode. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
That's it.
I be on my queen shit, crown tilted lean shit.